Okay guys, so in today's knowledge sharing session, we'll be talking about something called the law of karma. You must have heard of it, but I don't know how much you know about it. I also did not know much, and most of the people throw this word karma again and again without understanding the detailed meaning of what it is. So we'll try to delve deeper as much as possible. So first of all, this karma word is a Sanskrit word. So this law of karma comes from India. It's a thousands of year old theory, law of karma. It comes basically from Hindu dharma or the Sanatan dharma. So what we need to understand is that law of karma cannot be disproved and it cannot be proved as well. There are many things which are not in the linear domain, and we'll understand why it cannot be proved or disproved. So karma, what is karma? Most of the people think that the literal meaning of karma is action, which is correct. But action is mistakenly thought of as physical activity only. So if I am writing, that's the only action people consider, which is wrong, which is only partially true, right? So therefore, I will not use the word action, I will use the word karma. So karma comprises intention, which is the most important thing. Then it comprises thoughts, speech, and then physical activity. So most people think physical activity is only karma. That's the only part of karma, which is not true. So intention, suppose I throw a stone at Sam and she gets hurt and she gets unconscious. Now my intention, if my intention was to hurt her, the karma is different. If my intention was not to hurt her, just playfully throw it, then the karma is different. If my intention was to just throw the stone into the dustbin and she came in between, then the karma is different. But if you see the physical activity is the same. I threw and it hit her and she became unconscious, right? So intention is the most important aspect of karma, which most of us don't recognize and don't value also, because in general the world is superficial and we only see what we can see, not what goes behind that. So first intention, then there's thoughts. Because of intention you have thoughts. Because of thoughts and intention you have a particular speech, and then there is physical activities. So all four comprises karma. This is clear? Any doubts? No. Okay. So now karma, there are two kinds of karma broadly. So one is punya karma. So in English you can say good karma. And one is papa karma, which is bad karma. So again, punya and papa are Sanskrit words. So this is good karma, punya karma, and this is pap karma. I will not use good and bad because these are literal translations. Punya and pap are the words I will be using, right? So you either do a punya karma or a pap karma, and that keeps getting added to your storage of karma. So when you do a karma, it will have its phalas. What is phalas? It's the fruits or the results. So it's almost like the law of cause and effect. So when you do a particular karma, the effect are the phalas, right? So I'll talk about the phalas. I'll again use the word phalas instead of results or fruits. Okay. So karma, intention, thought, speech, physical activity, two kinds. Punya karma, pap karma. How do you know it is a punya karma or pap karma? Frankly, everybody has a conscience. If you have not killed it again and again, we know what is punya karma and what is pap karma. Especially we know our intention. Why? And if we don't know, if we delve deeper, contemplate, we will know. So it's not a big deal to understand what is punya karma and pap karma. Second is phalas. Be a phala of punya karma. It will be happiness in whatever way. What will be the phalas of papa karma? It will be suffering in different ways, right? Is that clear? So when you do punya karma, you have happiness in different ways. When you do papa karma, you have suffering in different ways. But it is not immediate. So we need to understand there are two kinds of phalas. One is drishta phala and one is adrishta phala. Drishta means, again it's a Sanskrit word, it means visible. So drishta phala is result and drishta is visible. So visible results. So if I throw this, it goes and hits the ground, that's a drishta phala. So my karma of throwing this, it hits the ground and it might break, so it breaks, that's a visible result, right? Adrishta phala is something that you cannot see the result immediately, and you don't even know what actually is the cause of that particular karma. That is called adrishta phala. Adrishta. So drishta is visible, means in. So invisible result. Now, why law of karma cannot be proved or disproved? Because you have adrishta phalas, which you cannot attribute to which karma led to what. You can say that I did a lot of punya karma, but bad things are happening. I did a lot of paap karma, that person did a lot of paap karma, but good things happen. Why? Right? These are the questions everybody. Why me? Why me? I have not done anything bad. Why it is happening to me? So law of karma gives answers to almost all the questions you might be having related to your life, especially the detailed, deeper questions of life. So to understand why something happens, we need to understand these three kinds of karma. You'll say that we have already talked about punya karma and paap karma. That is a different type. Every karma is either punya karma or paap karma. But how are they stored? That is something we need to understand. Now, see, as per Hindu Dharma, we are in a cycle of birth and death, right? Life and death, life and death, life and death. It keeps on happening, it keeps on happening, keeps on happening. Every life, you'll do some karma and it will get accumulated. Suppose you have had 10,000 lives till now. So you will have an accumulated karma of all those lifetimes, right? Make sense? That is called a Sanchita karma. Sanchita is a Sanskrit word. It means accumulated, collected. So 10,000 lives, karmas are collected. That is called Sanchita karma. So this is Sanchita karma. Understood? Now, why do you get born? You get born because those Sanchita karma needs to give phalas. It needs to fructify. There has to be a result. Only when those results are yielded, then your life and birth cycle will end. Otherwise, you will keep on having birth after birth, death, birth, life. That cycle will keep on and on. And for many people, it will never end, ever. It ends only in that life where you get enlightened. But that path might be 10 lakh lives. It might be millions of lives. We don't know. So Sanchita karma is this big. Now there is something called Prarabdha karma. What is that karma? So this is this life. Think about only this life. Now in this life, can all the Sanchita karma fructify? It's not possible, right? So you have had maybe 1 million lives or 10,000 lives. All the karma cannot fructify in one life. So what is done in this life? A small part of Sanchita karma, which is this. You can see black and blue, basically punya karma and paap karma, combination of that, is taken and put in this life. Now this life, you will only fructify Prarabdha karma. This is called Prarabdha karma. Only that much. So maybe you have done a lot of bad things in life, but few good things. And this life, only good things are coming. Or maybe only few bad things are coming and good things. So overall, you'll have a great life this life. But next life, you might have the bad things. So you'll have a very miserable life. You know? So now we don't know which part will come from here. But generally you have like almost 50% good karma and 50% bad karma in Prarabdha life. That's why we have both suffering and happiness, right? But anything can happen to anybody. We don't know. So that is called Prarabdha karma. When the Prarabdha karma, to fructify the Prarabdha karma, you get birth. So this life is because of the Prarabdha karma that is chosen from your Sanchita karma. You have to fructify that Prarabdha karma, and suppose it takes 100 years to fructify, you will live for 100 years. Suppose it takes 2 years to fructify, you will die when you are 2. Suppose it takes 25 years to fructify, you will die when you are 25. It is as simple as that. That's the law of karma. Do you get it? Now you will say that, but in this life also I am doing karma. What is that karma? That is called Agami karma. It is also called Kriyamana karma. Many people think these are two different karma. No, it's the same karma, Agami karma or Kriyamana karma. It's the karma that you do in this particular life. Do you understand now? So, if you see this life, the karma is C, right? Agami or Kriyamana karma. But the phalas are from B. You will get the phalas of the Prarabdha karma. And you cannot do anything about it, about those phalas. But you can do something about your Agami and Kriyamana karma. You get that? So, this life you have karma from C, Agami karma, and phalas, full B. Entire Prarabdha karma has to fructify. Plus, now when you do Agami karma, does it go to Sanchita karma or do you get results in this life itself? That's also a question, right? Whatever karma you are doing in this life, the Agami karma, does it go to Sanchita karma to be yielded in next lives, or do you get results in this life itself? So the answer is some part goes to Sanchita karma, it gets added here, and some part results you will get in this life. So you might say that person is such a bad person doing such bad karma, but he has a great life, because the bad karma of this life might not be being used, might not be getting added to the Prarabdha karma. It might be getting added to the Sanchita karma. And he'll have to pay the price maybe after 10 lives, maybe after 100 lives. But the yielding has to happen. You know what I mean? So, this life karma will be C, Agami karma. Phalas you will get from full from B and partially from C. So, whatever you do in this life, you don't know how much you will get result in this life, how much you will get result in next life. Nobody knows that. Now, there is a huge debate that spiritual people have on free will and determinism. Do you know? Have you heard of this word? Free will means you are free to choose whatever you want. Determinism means everything is determined, it is destined. You cannot choose anything. Whatever is happening had to happen. Have you heard that? So now many people will say, no, we can choose whatever we want. We can make the life we want. We are only responsible for what is happening. We choose our life. That is one thought. Another thought is we don't choose anything. Everything happens on its own. It's destiny. We cannot do anything about it. The law of karma answers that also. If you see clearly, it is very evident that free will, there is a free will, which is from Agami karma. Agami karma is about free will, right? You are choosing what you want to do. But there is determinism also, which is Prarabdha karma's phalas. The phalas you are getting from Prarabdha karma, it is determined. You cannot do anything about it. There's a story I heard in a video by Osho. He said that Buddha, somebody came and spit on Buddha's face. And he said, ki, anything else? That man said no. Then he said, okay, Ram Ram. And that guy went away. So his disciple Anand asked, why didn't you say anything? What was this? He said, ki, this was my Prarabdha karma. And it had to be fructified. If not, then I would have to take another birth. So I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him to come. So because of some Papa karma might be in any of his previous lives, this had to yield in this life. And had he reacted to it, he would have added Agami karma. Maybe reacted in a negative manner, so Papa karma. So again he has to pay. So another life, maybe in this life, maybe another life. Or if he does some very good karma also, then also he has to fructify into happiness. Then also he has to take birth. So he didn't do anything. He didn't do the Papa karma or the Punya karma. It was neutral. That's it, and it ended. So even somebody like Buddha has to fructify all his Prarabdha karma. Who are we? You know what I mean? So this is determinism. You cannot change that. And then there is something called chance. So anything that you do, the result that comes is because of free will, partially because of determinism, and partially because of chance. Sometimes only determinism, only free will, only chance. But overall, these three things play a role. Why chance? If you see, how do you know which part of the Sanchita karma will become Prarabdha karma? Do you know that? Therefore, that's the chance. anything can be chosen. Only good thing could have been chosen and you would have been like a great and very happy and very rich and everything great. But it's not happening, right? So that is not in our hands. So that is chance. Which part is being chosen? That is chance, right? That is being chosen by divine power. Now, how do you get beyond this cycle of life and death? Is when you use all the Sanchita karma. Now, you might say, how can I use all the Sanchita karma? Because when I do Agami karma, some part of it goes to the Sanchita karma again. So it will keep on adding, keep on adding. So yeah, that's a very good point. It will keep on adding, but it will not keep on adding if you do your karma, as per Bhagavad Gita, if you do your karma with the understanding of karta and akarta. So karta means doer and akarta means non-doer. So you are doing things, but you have an understanding that I am not the person who is doing it. It is being done through me by some divine power, by God or whatever, by some divine power. This is being done through me, and you are, whatever karma you do with that akarta feeling. Then it does not get added to your punya karma or pap karma. So the problem of birth and life and birth is not primarily only because of Sanchita karma. It is also because of Agami karma. You keep on adding, so it never ends. Now, the question can also be, why do you want to go beyond life and death cycle? I want to get born again and again. So you will get born, don't worry about it. But after a point, you understand that there is so much suffering, and when you want to go beyond it, in the spiritual pathway, you will realize that eventually you want to go beyond this cycle of life and death and go in the domain, be one with divine consciousness and go in that particular domain, which is complete bliss. And that is a different topic, so I will not discuss about it. I just close this as the law of karma, and I'll open questions and answers for you. Anything that you want to ask, I would like to answer. One thing I forgot. You might say that my first birth, why did my first birth happen? There was no karma that I did. So how can there be Prarabdha karma? I get born because I have to fructify the Prarabdha karma. When there is nothing that I did in my previous birth, I was not born. So why did I get born? So the answer is a little complicated, but you will be able to, I hope, understand. In maths, there is something called minus infinity to plus infinity. Have you heard that? So minus infinity to plus infinity is, infinity means it goes on and on and on, it never ends. Many people can understand what is plus infinity. It goes on and on. Future, yeah, it will be unending. But when we say minus infinity, it also goes on and on this side. So where it started, nobody knows. You will say, no, but somewhere it started. No, that's the point of minus infinity. It never started. It started, nobody knows where it started. So as per the rishis and munis of India for like thousands of years, they say that this universe that we see right now, before that there was another universe, before that there was another universe, before that there was another universe, and this has been going on and on. There is no minus infinity to it. It is almost like a cycle. It's like a circle, sorry, not cycle. There is no beginning or end. It just goes on. It's in a cyclical order. So there is no way to tell the first birth. There is no first birth, so to say. Difficult to comprehend, but that's the logic given about it. Yeah, okay. You have any questions? Real questions that came into your mind?
Well, I do believe in karma, but now after hearing what you said, the perspective of mine towards karma have changed now. My question is, like you said that the Sanchita karma, there are all the bunches of our good karmas and bad karmas.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's
All karma
yeah.
of all your previous lifetimes.
Like right now I'm living my life, and if I'm going some good phase or bad phase, is because my good karmas is affecting my life right now. So all the good things are happening. Okay, and the bad karma, because of bad karmas, my in my life right now, bad phase is happening right now.
So some part will be from Prarabdha karma and some you are doing in this life.
Yeah.
You might be doing bad karma in this life also or good karma in this life also. Some part from here and some part from Prarabdha karma,
So
which is
it's
determined.
all balanced, right?
Yeah, so law of karma says that everything is fair. Life is fair and it is 100% fair. It is not 99.9% fair.
That was my question actually.
So anything that happens to you is fair.
Okay.
It happens because of your karma.
Okay.
The problem is when we think that there is only one life, then it cannot explain things. So if you have lifetimes, past lives, it explains everything. So everything that is happening is because of your overall karma.
But doesn't that sound unfair that right now I'm doing in my lifetime, when I'm born or maybe die someday, the whole lifetime I did good things, but still I'm going by bad phase.
No,
because
it
of
is
my
not unfair
last-
because you see only this life.
Yeah.
So it's a tunnel
Yeah.
vision approach.
Okay.
You only see one life. You have had these many lives. So if you see a holistic perspective, it is completely fair. If you see only this life, then obviously it is not fair in that way. The problem is we think this is the only life we have.
Yeah.
And therefore it seems unfair. Now tell me, if a child dies at 9 years of age because of an accident, what can
What?
a 9-year-old
What did he
do
did
so
wrong?
bad? He cannot do Paap karma at 9 now. What can he do? Rarely. But he died. So what is the explanation for that? The explanation is simple. His Prarabdha karma was such that he had to die in 9 years. In 9 years, all the Prarabdha karma fructified and he died. And whatever he did in those 9 years, that is added in Agami karma, and some of it will go to the Sanchita karma. Next life, he might be living for 120 years. You don't know. So overall, it is all balanced. You have to pay for all your bad karma and you will get happiness for all your good karma of all the lifetimes. That's the entire point. It's not only about this life. Because we only worry about this life, that's why we say it is unfair. It is not unfair. So whenever you are suffering because of something unprecedented, remember that you are fructifying the Prarabdha karma, and now, so that is, it's being cancelled in a way. Now you're moving ahead. In a way, it's a good thing. But how do you react to that determines your Agami karma. So most of the people react based on their instincts called samskaras. Samskaras are impressions of all those lifetimes, past lifetimes. Therefore, every child is born in a different manner. People might say it is because of upbringing, but twins brought up in the same family, in the same school, might be completely different. So it is because of law of karma.
Yes.
Because their lifetimes was different. It does not have anything to do with upbringing and all. Upbringing helps, obviously, that is very important. But they have different character altogether. Might be completely opposite. How come? It is because of the karma that we have. And these karma theory, this comes from oral tradition, which might be, nobody can guarantee, might be 15,000 years ago. It comes from text, spiritual Hindu Dharma text, which comes, I think, around 6,000 years.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So, like in my life, I am doing some good things, some bad things. But
Agami karma.
Agami karma. Okay. So there are Punya and Paap, which I am doing both.
Yeah.
But if I know what Paap I did in my previous lives, then I won't repeat that in my current life, and that will help me in going away from the circle of karma. So why can't we know what were the bad things we did and we can rectify that in our new life?
But there are so many lives. There is past life regression that is done. But how many lives? You might have had 10 million lives. How do you know? How can you know everything? It is impossible. So I don't think that is possible. And law of karma gives you a generic answers to everything. It cannot be very specific about what exactly and which part is exactly leading this result, which is like adrishta phala. Where is it coming from? It is adrishta. We don't know. It is invisible where it is coming from. And even if you know what you did wrong in past life, that might not be prarabdha karma in this life. You are only responsible in this life for your prarabdha karma and your agami karma. So you might have life like a heavenly life this time, and next time it might be like hell, because your prarabdha karma is chosen like that. So nobody can determine that. That is not possible. What part of the Sanchita karma is taken for this life, nobody knows. But the point to understand, see, if you understand law of karma, These kind of questions like why me, life is not fair, these kind of questions will never arise, and you will be more calmer, more mature, and more capable of handling difficult situations in your life, because you understand, okay, so this is what is happening. Suddenly something happens, you have an accident and you lose a leg. Now what do? You lose a leg, it's gone. But if you understand law of karma, you know that this is coming from somewhere. This is fructification of my karma in past lives. So it will help you accept that and then do whatever you can do to handle that situation. Most of the times we react so aggressively to bad situations that our Agami karma becomes really bad. So understanding this actually helps you live this life of yours in a much better way, in a more mature way and more calmer way, which I completely agree to, because I have also been through that, being like, let's do this, we can do this, like free will, we can do everything on our own, everything is possible. All motivational speakers speak like that, but it is because of ignorance and arrogance that we do say those things. Everything is not possible. Many things is possible because of your Agamika, but we all know everything is not possible. That motivational speaker, sit him down and ask him, everything you have been able to achieve as per your wish? No, this is not possible.
I have one question. I think I found a thing very interesting in this. Ki if a person did punya his whole life, so I think
he should never get born again.
yeah,
He should go beyond
because he
the
not
cycle.
karma. Because
Yeah.
there should be a balance. Then
No,
only he will
that
have
is a confusion most people have. Like people say, you have to pay for your karma. No, that is not right. You pay only for your papa karma, and you get benefits because of your punya karma. So this confusion, I don't know, this is a worldwide confusion. People think karma is only about your papa karma. No, it is about your punya karma as well as your papa karma. So if somebody is only doing punya karma, which is generally not possible, if it is possible, then eventually they move towards the spiritual path and then get enlightened and go beyond the cycle of life and death. But even if you are doing punya karma again and again, it gets added to the Sanchita karma, and you will keep having births. What will be the result? What will be the phala of punya karma? Happiness, right? So you will be having happy lives again and again, happy lives, again and again. But that cycle will not end. Cycle will only end when you don't add either punya or pap karma. The story about Buddha I told you, there he did not add anything, neither punya nor pap karma. Now that is possible only through, as I said, through karta and akarta bhav. So when you do whatever you are doing, when you do your karma with the understanding, actual understanding that it is not I who is doing this, but it is being done through me by some divine power. When you don't take credit for what you are doing, then it does not get added either to pap karma or punya karma. Yeah. Therefore, you are not adding Agami karma, and therefore Sanchita karma will keep on getting fructified in several lifetimes, and eventually you will go beyond the cycle of life and death. So that is very important. To whatever karma you do it with the devotion. If you believe in God, you devote it to God. Whatever you do, with that kind of devotion you do, or you do with a devotion that understanding that I am not doing it. It is being done through me because of some divine power or whatever. Because we understand that there is determinism, there is free will, there are so many things we cannot control in our life. You can even test your life. You can make a sheet of everything, most important aspects of your life, most important incidents, if I may, of your life. I have done that. So I got 32 incidents that charted my life, and then I realized that many of them were determined. I could not do anything about it. Like your birth, could you do anything about it? So most of the things in your life is determined by where you were born, right? In which family and all. So punya karma and pap karma, both are karma. So because of your karma, you get good results and you get bad results. It's not only the bad papa karma because of which you are born. So this will not answer everything. You might be having a lot of doubts even now, but I have made this video because you get some information about karma in some part of Bhagavad Gita, and then another part of Bhagavad Gita, then some in Vedas, some somewhere else, some by some Rishi Muni, by some enlightened person all over the world. And it becomes a little confusing because you take snippets from here and there. I have tried to collate all of it and then present to you in a very concise format. This does not answer everything that you might be having in your mind, but this should usher you into trying to find out more answers, trying to find out why this is happening, why that is happening, and so on and so forth. So it's a good direction to go into. That's why this video is made. I hope this was helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.